All right, hey people, Russ Jensen. So it's about 5 minutes after 4 p.m. on the 17th day of January 2017 here in Salt Lake City, Utah, Great Republic of Utah, beautiful dirt. so um, I'm going to start walking people through a little bit about this whole exercise, this uh, declaratory judgment. But there's a little bit of a disconnect when I'm saying, hey, they don't have constitutional authority, I don't have constitutional jurisdiction from what they've done, but we're going to go to their courts and ask for them to verify whether that contract's valid or not. Okay, so this is where it becomes important once again to understand who and what we are. And I don't mean to be condescending, and if I come across that way, I apologize. And I don't mean to talk down to anybody. If I appear to be doing that, I apologize. It's not my intent. Okay. Um, we need to break things down to the simplest information possible. Occam's razor and all that stuff. Okay. Understanding the Constitution, the United States of America, United States, does not give you any power or any authority, doesn't even give your government authority. So we need to start understanding the true nature of power and the true nature of authority, what it is. Power that's operated on, that's used by your government, that's used by your courts, used in our businesses, contracting, things like that, comes from you. And when I say it comes from you, it comes from the fact that you, as a conscious awareness, man or a woman, walking around here alive, are filled with the sovereign power, that life force energy that animates you, that gives you the ability to do things. And isn't that what a right is? A right is just the ability to do something. So it's that life force energy that all of us have, all men, women, created equal, endowed with our Creator, by our Creator. It's that life force energy. That is the power. And from that power flows the authority. And authority is just also, once again, the ability to do something, the permission to do an action. And so the Constitution doesn't give us any authority at all. Neither does the law of nations. What it does then, though, is it creates the rules in which our life force energy, our power, our authority is then expressed into this reality that we live in. And since there's other people here, other individuals with their own sovereign authority, sovereign power living, it then defines the rules that we're all agreeing to exist by, coexistence. So the Constitution then is a set of rules that explains to the other people that are going to acting on our behalf in the capacity of a governmental officer. We have to put a name to an organization or a group of people. Governance, I guess, what the word we came up with. Right? Here in my state, Governor Gary Herbert, is the governor. But is he really the governor, or does he have a title of governor? He's a man, like I'm a man, could be a woman too, living human being that at the moment has the title of governor. And the office of governor is created on paper by us members, living people in our societies. It says the office of the governor can do these things. It's kind of like we're giving him a hall pass. Okay? Has to have this hall pass to go out down the hall. But also on that hall pass says you can go to the red line at the end of the hall and no further. And if you step across the red line, the hall pass is revoked and you can be prosecuted. You can be put in jail. We'll have the policeman come down and arrest you. Okay? That's what it is, basically. Your Constitution is the hall pass for the other members, other people in your society, giving them permission to do certain things for us, but no further. You can't go beyond the red line into the hall. Okay? So you are the authority, your power, your living energy, the life force of you is the power that's then delegated to another group of people, Congress, what we call it. huh? Legislative power here and granted from who? We, the people of the United States, to give them permission to write uh, the rule book, the laws that we agree to live by, consenting to. But once again, those have got to be within those very defined uh, set of rules. They can't just write everything like they are now. They're bound by that document, which is why they have done everything they can to operate outside of it, including murder, including lying, deception, violence. Okay, that's what they've done. Okay? So I'm going into a court. We're going to be going with this declaratory judgment. And so when I go in there to do that, that court is a building with people in it. They do not operate, they don't have permission to do anything in regards to me until I give them permission to do so. I grant them the ability to act in a certain manner using my authority, my life force energy. I'm giving them permission over that for a specific matter and a specific time in a specific way that can be done. So not that we're going into one of their courts. What we're going into is a room with other people in it. And asking those people, or actually giving them authority to speak for us about a particular matter. So they are going to be speaking for us based on the authority, the grant of power that I'm delegating to them. I'm giving them permission to do that for me. And so, once again, it becomes very important to understand what you are. You are the power. Your life force. Now, Gary Herbert, my governor, is still a private man. When he's acting in the capacity of the governor of the Republic, state of Utah, is it his personal power that he's exercising, that he's giving to the office that gives him permission to do everything? Or is it the collective power of all the people, all the living human beings walking around the dirt of Utah that gives him permission to do the activities of being the governor? It's not his personal authority. Now, his personal authority is part of it, added in with the collective, with mine and yours and all the other people here in Utah, but it's not him personally. He's not the governor. He's a man acting in capacity with a title. He's an actor. He's a man acting as the governor. And when you start reading some law, some cases, you'll see how they talk about that. You use the word actors. That's what you're doing. That's what they're doing. They're assuming a role. They're taking on an acting role, like in a movie, to do certain things, but nothing beyond what the script allows them, what's been written for them. And that's what they're doing. They're expanding the script, pretending that they have the authority, that they are the office of the governor. It's their personal authority, personal power, that they can then give themselves more power. Take it from you. So, without understanding who and what you are, when you go into a courtroom and you don't state who you are and understanding who and what you are, then they're operating what the Nisi Prius courts, what they call those, by agreement and all this, whatever. Okay, it's your presence there, even if you're drug in there in handcuffs with the end of a gun. Okay? It's your presence there. and I don't have time to find it right now today, but I'll put it up on one of my other ones. When you start looking at the detainer agreements that have been written between the United States of America, your individual states, you'll see that if you've been brought into custody in the United States of America or United States, you have got to, even if it's a person that's in handcuffs, you have to sign consensual, uh, a consent form consenting to be transferred from your asylum state, which is your home state, uh, to the custody of the United States of America. And if they had gotten that legitimately, or could do that without your consent, you wouldn't be required to sign, would you? Okay? So, as I said, it comes back to that simplicity. You're the power. Your power then creates the authority, because the authority is just nothing more than the permission to do something, which is a right. So it's your power that gives them the permission to engage in a right of governance. And that right of governance, along those rights, because rights flow from obligations, and their obligations are defined specifically in the Constitution of the United States and in the book Law of Nations. And they cannot proceed outside those boundaries without being in violation, without having, then they have no more authority operating outside of that. Okay, well, we operate outside over there, but we're operating inside over here, so that still makes us legitimate. No, it does not. Okay? And that's what we as a people have got to start understanding. We've got to start enforcing the law, which is that Constitution. And that's the purpose of this declaratory judgment we're asking for. We're going to be authorizing the court to operate on our authority of the people, because there is no other authority. Court gets its permission, gets its authority from the people, from you, from your life force energy. I want you to understand how powerful you are. You're everything. Everything. And we got to break out of the conditioning that they have brought to bear upon us. Very sophisticated social engineering, very sophisticated conditioning programs that we've all been subjected to through the public school systems, through your advertising, movies, okay? Very efficiently applied to us, okay? That we have to seek permission from outside, have to get their permission to exist, to do anything. They have to get our permission to do anything. Okay? Just because they have got the guys with the guns, the actors in black robes and costumes, just because they have lied, been deceitful, been violent, does not make them legitimate. So, like I said, it's a little bit late today, and we're working on some of this paperwork, been writing up some of it, but tomorrow I'll probably come back and talk a little bit more about these things and start showing people what we're doing. And like I said, I don't have all the answers. I'm just trying to get people to break out of your little compartment that they have stuffed us all into in our minds. Okay, to understand you're the authority, you're the power that's granted to them, and them is what? Just other people that have a little bit of permission. Okay? So, love everybody, and I'll talk to you soon. Oh yeah, I set up a Twitter account too. I don't know anything about this social media stuff, so I'm gonna try to do what I can, try to get better that way. But we're gonna be buying some equipment tomorrow, some cameras and things like that. But my son and my other son are gonna start doing some work, doing some I guess more engaging man on the street kind of videos and some different stuff. It's gonna be a lot of fun, I think. But mainly, we just gotta start getting people to stop and think about what you are. Okay? You are that beautiful, wonderful, powerful life force energy that we don't know what it is. Huh? But it shouldn't be repressed. It shouldn't be bottled up. It shouldn't be tortured. Huh? You know, trying to have a meaningful experience here, as long as we're not being destructive of the other life force energies trying to do something here. And that's what's going on. In fact, the government is far more destructive. of the environment, of people, and people than we are. See? Those people acting in government. See? So start thinking and recognizing what you are, how magnificent you are, how powerful you are, and that the fact that they require your power for authority. You have to grant your power to them, give them permission to act. See? So, see? Be powerful.